Now, don't get me wrong. There are features for WWE 2K22 that I want, like you guys want. I want the, GM mode or universe mode update. It's some sort of mode. I need some sort of hook. Guys, come on, let's go. And the core fundamental gameplay needs to be tight. I think we can agree on that. But I started thinking, actually, one other feature that I want to talk to you guys about today that I think that we really need to have for 2K22 and beyond. Let's discuss that right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt. Good to see you and good to have you here. It's the weekend. I'm excited. Get some coffee, get the kids out, run some shenanigans, do the errands, get the groceries, maybe have a cocktail later. It's hot outside, and do the grass, and do all of the good, husband, fatherly, domestic things that I do. Haven't gotten my oldest kid into WWE games and wrestling games. My younger daughter, she's little. I throw on WWE sometimes. She digs it. She likes gymnastics. She's all into the women's division. She likes Sasha. I'm feeling okay about this. The boy, maybe. Kind of likes it. He kind of likes Roman Reigns. The girl, that's the one. That's my favorite. I'm just kidding. WWE 2K22. So, it's coming out sometime later this year. We had a big episode the other day talking about what is going on with this game. Thank you all, by the way, for checking that one out. For those that have subscribed because of that episode, thank you very, very much for supporting the show. We are very, very close to 3,000 subscribers. Awesome of all of you to join the Assemble community. With 2K22, yeah, there's one feature that I'm looking at going, I think we need this, and I think we need it for the longevity of the franchise. That being live updates. Seems simple enough. Probably have talked to you guys in the community about this before, but I think that putting it as not as a games as a service, just having live updates like 2K has done with a lot of the sports franchises, maintaining a live service game ecosystem, living, breathing, I think is going to be fundamental for this game's long-term success. With WWE and with 2K taking an extra year off in between, getting the tagline out there of it hits different, we are very focused on, the modes and what the community wants, and that we want a GM mode, we want some sort of championship mode, we want something there on that side, and then we talk about gameplay. We also talk about roster. And we've had a lot going on with WWE right now with roster changes, with them doing significant cuts, with the rumors of more cuts to be coming, with superstars like Samoa Joe being let go and then coming back to NXT. It creates this real big shuffle, and almost that for 2K, you can't do the tried and true, here's our game and here's our baked in roster, and we're gonna sell you guys DLC packs with 4 or 5 characters after the fact. It doesn't necessarily work anymore because the landscape has changed. We have more competition with places like AEW and New Japan where stars can go. Stars getting scooped up by WWE, being held there for like 5 years under contract. That is loosening up now. Those contracts also come up and they go over to places like AEW. So I started thinking about it. What if, and let me know in the comments below, what about it being with live updates and a live service game? The roster itself is looking thin. It's looking like what we get on TV, but you get some stars that get taken out because of injury. Becky Lynch has been out having a baby for over a year, and she's going to come back. And with Becky Lynch, for example, having a big return, presumably this summer around SummerSlam, if rumors are true, what if Becky Lynch is coming back and she's got new look, new hair, tattoos? Her gimmick, her whole thing is probably going to get updated and changed. And as fans, we get disappointed when we have to go in and the character models are already out of date. And some of it are fine, like the legends, but your current roster, a star like Becky Lynch, that's what came to mind. Someone like that, you really don't want to have to go in and change up their attire all the time and doing custom creations. That's okay, and we get some good creations, and it's fine. But if her overall look is different and we can't adjust, her hair, makeup, all of that, then it leads me to sit there and go, I think we do need to have a live updates feature baked into this game. And for the other reason of superstars like Samoa Joe that have left and have come back. Joe has been out of the game, presumably, and his character would have been in there because he had been with WWE this whole time while 2K was developing the game. Now he's gonna be back in the game. It's not that hard that they would have to leave him in the game, but what if he did leave for over a year or two and then came back? And what if 2K is looking at this saying, maybe we don't want to have to go and do this title, do this franchise year after year after year like clockwork. What if they do want to start spacing it out going into the future, where 2K22 comes out this year, and then they take another full year off or a year and a half, and they launch the next version? I understand from 2K side, they would want to put out a game every single year to be able to have that ongoing revenue. But if they take, kind of what works in the model of the sports franchises, and we look at things like NBA, then I would want to be able to have those live roster changes. If it's a live, living, breathing universe mode, then you want to be able to see those roster changes happen like they do on TV. We get a WWE draft coming up. It would be really good if we did have things like live updates and roster updates and changes so that the team over at 2K could go in and update character models when stars come back, when they transition out, things like that, so that they can keep everything nice and fresh. And if you were 2K and you wanted to monetize this thing to make more money off a live service deal, because it would cost time and resources and everything, you could monetize that live service feature. You could just turn it on, but if it takes more work for them, then you could put in monetization into the game. I hope not, but they've done certain things with games like Battlegrounds where it is these player packs and unlock your characters and all of that, and you're buying into these DLC packs for all these characters. They may want to take what works from Battlegrounds and put it in here, or they may not want to at all. But I think that with so many movements within roster changes and it just being in flux right now, I would hope that 2K would look at something like the live service feature and updates and being able to bake those in, not only for the superstars, but also when we have arena changes too. WWE has a tendency to refresh their sets and the designs pretty frequently now. We've seen redesigns of SmackDown several times over in the last 5 years. And it doesn't always work on the custom creation suite, especially in 2K20, because the thing was just buggy as all things. But when we've gone from, PC to Thunderdome to back on the road with live events, and we're going to get new arenas and new sets designed for Raw and SmackDown, you want those in your game. And fine that fans can go in and do custom creations, but you want to be able to have, your baked in legit sets from the game and from the developers themselves too. And it goes the same when it comes to the pay-per-views. Rumors are online that Vince and WWE are looking at bringing back more themed pay-per-views. We hear rumblings of like King of the Ring coming back. Maybe they would even do like a Cyber Sunday thing. But when we have the actual sets of the pay-per-views, giving them more life like they used to when they were kind of themed, instead of feeling like it's just a bigger Raw. I always think back to SummerSlam a few years ago where they didn't even change the set. It was just SummerSlam logos and banners, but it was just the Raw set. It takes the life out of it. You want those events to feel more special. You get WrestleMania as well. They don't know what the set for WrestleMania would be, but if they space out the actual games themselves and they roll over into the next year, obviously, then it would be really good if we had live updates so that they could go in and actually put in the real official WrestleMania 37, 38 sets in there so fans can actually really enjoy them. And it keeps it fresh. That's the big thing too. If they want to talk about how it hits different, could be in the gameplay they're referring to, could be just to the animations and they're putting more work into the aesthetics of it, could be a new refreshed updated mode like a GM mode or something to that effect. But if they did something where they're taking it completely away from just this is a one-time shot of your roster, go and do all of your creation suites. What if they were minimizing the creation suite, redesigning it so they simplify it and it's not as in-depth? Maybe they don't put all the time and resources into, look how far in advance our custom creation suite is. Maybe they ring it in a little bit and then they go and put more time and resources and energy into, we're not going to do that as hardcore. We are going to put more time and emphasis in making sure that our service is live and up to date and consistently working. Biggest piece of feedback that fans always gave for 20 is that it was just buggy and it didn't work even day one. And to avoid those giant failures again, they do need to make sure that they're coming out and making sure they have kind of everything covered. They want to make sure that they're in a good spot with fans and that they are doing a good job with this title. Then I think that they need to come out with a live service and having those live updates every month, every quarter, whatever. But when there's substantial changes within the WWE itself, then they can make those changes. So ladies and gentlemen, what do you think, boys and girls? Do you think that live updates from that effect would come into the game? Is that something that you think we should get from WWE and 2K? Or is it irrelevant and do you think that maybe they would just go down the traditional path of, no, Matt, it's going to be, here's your roster, here's DLCs, here's 5 DLCs and some zombie DLC mode that they love to do. And it's gonna be the exact same thing. I hope not. I like to be more optimistic about the game. I'm still concerned that we haven't seen anything, but I would love to see if we get some reveal as we're getting towards WWE going back on the road, fans being in the crowd and in attendance, and SummerSlam is churning out and it's starting to sound like it's going to be this massive, massive event with them being back on the road. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Live updates, WWE 2K22, I don't know. But it would be good if they actually took some time and like, you know, updated the thing consistently. I get tired of just having like little one-off patches in the game, you know? They're like, we fixed all these things at launch. They're like, just wait, just get your game out and make it working. If they do live updates, it'd be kind of cool. We'd be able to get like all the different attires. Roman Reigns changes his look. Like, come on, guys shave and they just have a whole new look when they come back. Like, what if Edge comes back in 3 months and then he shaves his head down? Like, you don't want to have that. We'll see. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. And as always, thank you guys for assembling with us. See ya.